Texas A&M going into this year, when's the last time they won 10 games? When's the last time they've actually done anything relevant? Yes, Jimbo Fisher does a great job recruiting. Yes, they beat Bama last year, but they also lost 4 games. Quarterback, who's their quarterback? He got injured last year after the second game. Their other guy, Max Johnson, or LSU quarterback, came over. Their other guy transferred to Auburn, who's a backup at Auburn. So you got question marks there. Offensive line, they lost 3 starters. You got question marks there. You watch the first game against Sam Houston State. I'm like,
this is what's all the hype about?
okay, maybe they're just coming out flat. Okay, watch the second half after the long delay. I'm like, no, this team's beatable. Their offensive line did not look good. Their quarterback is literally one of the worst QBRs in NCAA right now.
But if they've had one of the top recruiting classes and they've been in the top, they have talent.
They're young, though. They're young. So, like, if you look at their defensive line, their defense is disgusting. I'll give them that. Their defensive line is nasty. Like David Pollack said, they got dudes. They got some dudes in there, and that's really what's going to show us is our run game for real. Okay, we ran a bunch against Bethune and Southern Miss. We do that all the time, but when we play some real teams, we get stonewalled. So with Maribal coming in, Cristobal coming in, do we have the right guys? Right. We'll see this week. Thing with them is that I don't even know if they believe their own coaches and their schemes. Because one of their top players came out today and said not everybody was buying into what our coaches were saying.
What's going on, everybody? We're back. OTH, we got a brand new look, a few new fellas. But we're going to give you that great content, great stories, and it's going to all be amazing. I want to introduce you to Brian Monroe, old school here, Brett Romberg.
I was going to say, yeah, we are the same OTH, just a little bit lighter and a little bit older. You know what I mean? But much better looking, though. But, Vilma's a lot uglier than that dude.
Wait, who's older?
We're all older.
I ain't age, bro.
Fine wine?
I ain't age, bro. You see me, look at the abs.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Everybody saw the Dunlop. I know I did.
Nah, but fellas, I appreciate you guys joining me right now. We got a lot of topics to talk about.
And again, it's only got to be fitting, right? Because new look, new you. The same time we started this jump off with OTH, it was dealing with a whole different coaching regime as well. So, why not bring it back?
But now you see the athletes have taken control of themselves, of their stories, right? I don't know, we call it the new media versus the old media, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, I couldn't deal with the old media.
Neither could I. That's why we're not in it.
I did that bleep button.
Yeah.
Right.
But you didn't know where it was. That was the problem. You had no idea. You were doing really conventional media.
I thought he blames you though for that.
He does blame me for that.
100%. You are the reason.
I still got to know the story, man. You got to tell everybody.
100%. You are the reason that I no longer can do conventional media. We were doing the morning show.
Yeah.
790.
Yeah.
It was me.
Yep.
It was you. I think it was Zaz, and I believe it was Amber, right?
Joy was gone by then.
Yeah, it was Amber.
Yeah, y'all had 4 on the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's the easiest show to do.
And they needed a token. They had to get a token.
They got to have a token. Yeah,
so I came in.
That's a super white show there.
Yeah,
look, they used to have, I used to have to drive in at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
To come do this show where I was only on it for 35, 40 minutes.
Depending on what time you showed up.
Oh, no. I wasn't on the full show.
You only had a segment.
I was only yes.
See, when I filled it, I had 2 hours, so maybe that's because I'm mixed. They just like I get a little bit. The white side got in too as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look, we're doing the show, and I forgot what the topic was. Amber said balls.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
Like footballs, soccer balls?
No.
Balls.
We're talking about.
Right. Can't be misconstrued.
Okay.
Right.
We're talking about balls.
Right.
Right? And so, okay, it opened me up. Okay, this is a conversation. This is where we're going now.
Because Amber's a fan. Amber's a fan.
Is that a pause?
Yeah. Amber likes men.
Can we say pause on that one? Can we say pause on that one for you?
No pause. Play. So she says balls, and as the conversation continues to go, I say tits. Everybody freezes.
Yeah. A few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, everybody freezes on the show.
Yeah.
Covers the mic. You can't say tits.
Gave the old Kevin Hart.
You can't say tits. So
What was the context?
it doesn't matter. No. I meant
No, he wasn't
tits.
saying he wasn't saying anything. It was like tits.
No, I was saying tits.
No, he was literally.
She was saying balls. I was saying tits, right? So I say tits. Everybody grab their mic. Cover their mic. Look at me. You can't say tits. I'm thinking it's a joke. I'm the newbie. And then so I say, why can't I say tits?
Oh man, you doubled down.
She just said balls.
Yeah, he wanted to go into it.
Then the seriousness of the mic cover.
Yeah, and then it went to, we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial real quick. We'll see you in about
Come at you live.
5 minutes.
Steve, go ahead and get off. So from that moment, I froze up. Okay. I don't know if they're joking with me, if I'm being punked, if this is something extra. So for the remainder of the show, I'm Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands, right? I'm on the show.
Nervous.
The show ends. And I remember I asked you, as well as I asked Zaslow, I was like, why can't I say tits? She said balls. Their response was, can't say tits.
They didn't justify the whole balls comment.
No,
out of context, no nothing.
no nothing.
You heard Cheetah hit them all over the fence
Yes,
the other
he
day,
did.
talking about their new head coach of the Miami Dolphins he needs a wheelbarrow to carry his balls around, his
And then he said his
huevos
cojones.
grandes, his
Yeah.
cojones.
So that's what I'm saying. If I'm part of a show and a woman,
Oh Christ! Now you're barking up a whole.
I was gonna say
you're going
this,
progressive
we're going
now.
down
You're
a
talking
rabbit hole.
all right, well,
Just the locker room, and I guarantee you that's a whole other conversation. But the caveman locker room mentality of the way we speak to each other and the way that we talk about whether it's women or whether we talk about kids or strip clubs or female body parts in the real world, especially in corporate America, I had a hard time understanding that too. Like, it got to the point where sometimes where I just wouldn't even speak because I didn't know how to address certain things.
your group is the worst.
What, the offensive line?
Offensive linemen, it don't get.
Cool, I
it
thought we were
don't-
going down another rabbit. You said your group. I was
I know,
like,
I
damn,
thought you were-
now we going down this rabbit. Come on, man.
We're already going
No.
Who's you people?
Yeah.
What do you mean, you
There.
people?
We're already, damn, 3 minutes in, he's pulling the race card already.
Offensive linemen, the way that you guys speak to each other, the things that you do,
Yeah, nothing's off limits.
if people in the outside world ever saw
No.
Oh, it's counseling immediately.
the amount of racism, sexism, everything
Body
you can,
shaming.
body
Oh,
shaming.
God, you guys are the worst.
Yeah, we're crossing every single topic a psychiatrist might have to go over in the university playbook. We're crossing them all off the list. There's no doubt in my mind. Like to the point where you're either going to rise to the occasion, be able to handle the verbal abuse and physical abuse for that matter, because you will find the weak link in the group and you don't want them to be there anyway, which obviously transitions into the conversation of old school mindset of football versus new school, where nowadays coaches need to be psychotherapists half the time dealing with kids. Like, if we want to talk, luckily we didn't have this thing with Tate Martell, to be honest with you. Imagine if we had this thing with Tate Martell, the stuff that he was pulling with that team and that organization. Like, there's certain things nowadays that you really can't even get into. Otherwise, you're going to be afraid of either a lawsuit. You know, we were beating the hell out of each other too off the football field. So guys
That's
getting
what
hurt,
happened with,
guys getting physically hurt.
Buddy from the Dolphins, or Richie Incognito.
Yeah. Well, I got a whole, because me and Richie
I
are
love
like
Richie.
this. Me and Richie are like this.
I mean, I've talked to some people, and everyone says, like, he tries everybody.
Of course he
Everybody's
does.
equal.
100%. Tosh
It
point
don't matter what
everything.
race you
Tosh
are.
point
Exactly.
Asian, Jewish, he went after every
Which
single
I can
one.
appreciate.
Yes.
I can appreciate that. If you
Well,
go
he
after
didn't
everybody,
discriminate.
we're good. Exactly.
He
You don't
didn't
discriminate against
discriminate.
anybody.
No, that's for sure.
We're good. Everybody's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
But that's how you're supposed to be as boys and come together, that you can make fun of white, black, and Asian, Jewish, wherever you got in your locker room as your boys and stuff like that. If we can't crack jokes, we can't be friends.
We should be talking Lil Kane football.
A little bit. We could talk a
Lil
little
Kane
Kane
football,
football.
right?
We need to, yeah.
We're right now 2-0. First game, Bethune.
No, I'm with you. I think we handled everything we needed to handle, and every aspect of the game looked pretty good. Obviously, same coach speak, got to go in there and clean up a few things. But for the most part, we got to see size, we got to see speed, we got to see power, the difference, from one year to the next. We got to see that. Granted, you're going against the Bethune-Cookman, so at what level are you looking at that competition? And then you have the Southern Miss walk into town too, which for the first half of that football game, I don't know, you probably can agree with me, it really wasn't anything to wave your hat at. Like it was.
But
I
Southern,
was startled.
you would say Southern Miss is a step above Bethune, right?
I would think so. Yes.
So here's what I loved about the Bethune-Cookman game.
The band.
No.
Yeah.
I stayed for halftime for that.
No.
It was dope.
They put on a good show.
Final
They
score.
did.
What final score was what?
70 to 13.
Exactly.
Why? Because they broke a record.
No. It's not about breaking a record. You do with them what you're supposed to do to them.
Right, which you haven't been doing
so
in the past,
before you can get into the conversations.
Yeah, but Manny Diaz won something 69 to nothing too as well.
No.
Did he
No,
really?
no.
Yeah.
With his cleats on the sideline?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
It's impressive.
Wait. Who did he beat 69?
I don't know, Charleston Southern or Bethune or one of them, like 63 nothing.
Yeah.
6-3
Something like
He was
that.
in the 60s,
Okay.
yeah.
But again, 70 to 13. You do what you're supposed to do to them, right? Like if you're gonna try to be in the same conversations of the Georgias, of the Bama. I'm in a group chat with some guys that I played Denver Broncos with. I got some Georgia Bulldogs in there. I got some Oregon Ducks in there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, they left the chat
Oh, really?
by how bad Oregon got whooped.
I'm about to say they better.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
better.
saying, right? So when people have asked me, oh, the game we won, this and that. No. From the optics, you handle business as business is done.
Right.
Like this is a team you're supposed to score 70 on. You score 70.
Yeah, wasn't
on.
nobody looking at NIL deals last Saturday? Yeah. The
Exactly.
Saturday we just had, I think, there was probably a few kids looking at some NIL deals. That's for the first half of that game. there was some kids not playing what they were supposed to be playing. You know what I mean? They were worried about other things. But you're right. I think Mario went in there at halftime. I don't know what was said, but I got a pretty good idea of what Mario probably told them. Hence the reason why they came out and ran the goddamn ball for like a 13-play drive.
You're talking about the Southern
Miss game.
Southern Miss.
game. Yeah. I think Mario, and perfect example. A guy like Mario Cristobal getting in your ass about what is going on a football field versus a guy like Manny Diaz getting in your ass about what's going on that football field. I think it's a total game changer. I don't know what it is about guys that have done it, guys that have been there, guys that look like they could do something and do some damage to you, standing up in front of you and barking and commanding respect versus a smaller guy standing up in front of giants trying to command respect. I know there's like the Napoleon complex and all that other stuff. There's been amazing world leaders that have created and commanded leadership like that, but we saw a massive dynamic shift in our own home city over the weekend, whether it was the University of Miami going out there and dominating the second half of that game, or it was the Miami Dolphins taking care of their business against conference rivals, New England Patriots right here in our own backyard too. But that coach is about 5'3", looks like he works on a computer 18 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like he looks like a different coach, but yet players love him. So what is creating, and again, it goes back to the psychology of sports nowadays.
Wait, who's 5'3"?
McDaniels.
Coach for the Dolphins. You ever
He's
see what
short,
this dude
bro.
looks like?
He's tiny.
I haven't seen him.
Bro,
Yeah,
he's smaller than
Like
J
that
Rock
size.
over
I
here.
haven't
Yeah.
seen him.
Way smaller than J Rock.
I haven't seen him.
J Rock's got about 20 pounds on him. I'm being dead serious, bro.
But
No
you
joke.
know what? But
But I think the funniest part is he's half black white, but he looks white. So the whole thing was
Yeah.
like the Rooney Rule. Oh, he does the Rooney Rule, and everyone's looking at him. I'm looking at him too because I'm mixed. I'm like, wait, I know we can come out different shades, but he looks white.
He skipped.
I had to Google his dad.
He skipped.
And then you Google your dad, and you're like,
Wait, the
okay,
dad-
cool.
the daddy
He's
black.
good. The dad's black. But like, they're kind of like light skin like me almost. So he looks white.
But
Yep.
I mean, I've had big coaches, small coaches, medium coaches, facts, the whole nine. There's a presence about okay, when you get to the league, right, majority of the guys that are coached by a coach make more money than him. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Player's
So
worth more than the coach.
There has to be a respect factor, right? There has to be that feeling of mutual respect, and then there also has to feel that this is a football guy. This guy knows sports. This guy knows football. And I can see that all the time when I meet a ball coach. And I was talking about it last week, bringing up my old high school coach, very intimidating personality. Matter of fact, I even kind of compared him to Butch Davis too. right?
Really?
Where it's that situation where you see him walking down the hallway, you already start to fake the conversation in your head, how you want to
yeah.
address it, this and that.
You got answers already.
You already got answers,
Yep.
this and that, because he's going to say something, he's going to address you about something.
Right. And if he doesn't, then your world just crumbled.
And Mario has that because he played the game.
And he'll stare you dead nuts in your eye, too, as he's asking you the
And
question.
you can't fake it.
No.
You can't fake it.
I think that animal that has been missing, and again, we talked about it earlier before we even started rolling camera, but we always buy in. We always drink the Kool-Aid down here. Whatever regime, whatever new coach, because we're so passionate, we love the school so much. Minus the sugar, right. But I think, and I probably say the same stuff all the time, but this time is different. It really is, because I think we know the guy that's at the helm, if you know what I mean. Like, we don't know Manny Diaz. We don't know Mark Richt. We saw what we saw on college game days and stuff like that, what he was doing with Georgia. So we really didn't know, regardless if he's one of us. Mario is one of us. He's coached us. He's been around us, and he's an animal. You know what I mean? And the fact that he's an offensive lineman obviously gets that extra stamp of approval because he's got that sick mind. Just totally sick.
I mean, I look at it like this, right? So you look at the last, 6 coaches that we've hired here? What we got? Cristobal, Manny Diaz, Richt, Al Golden, Coach Shannon, Coker.
And Larry, and then Butch.
And Butch. Okay, so if you look at just the last 4 that we've had, right? So you had Al Golden, and Mark Richt, Manny Diaz, and you had Coach Shannon. Which one of them actually was an established coach coming here?
Right.
Which one has actually cut his teeth somewhere? Which one had success somewhere? And that was Mark Richt.
I was gonna
right?
say
We
Richt.
always go the cheap route at University of Miami and say, oh, we can save some money, let's just go get this guy. We can save some money, let's just go get this guy. But we actually hired a guy that was established, had success in the SEC, and guess what we finally did at University of Miami since something when we were in school that we haven't done? We won 10 games. And if Coach Richt didn't have his health issues, we probably would have kept growing on that. So what do we do after Coach Richt? We panic. We heard Blake James say, we're going to do a national search. We're going to go get the best guy. And next thing you know, Manny Diaz is taking the Temple job. Oh, my God. We got to scramble. We got to get him. That's our DC. We can't let him go. And then guess what? He gets to cut his teeth again at University of Miami, learns on the job, and that's not what we need. We're now getting a coach that's established, won the Pac-12, won the Rose Bowl, has, 3 first-rounders in a row, top 10 picks, only one of 3 coaches right now in college football to have that.
National Recruiter of the Year.
You're going to see the same exact thing with Coach Richt, but on another level, because we know Coach Cristobal does not sleep. We know he's relentless.
So here's a question, right? Like, what do you think Coach Cristobal's best attribute is?
Personally,
Yeah.
you can trust him. When he looks in your eyes and tell you, this is awful, you can't do this. Okay, perfect example. When we were talking about the Bethune-Cookman game and it was we won 70-13. What I liked about it, there was a lot of teachable moments, right? So the first thing was Cam Kitchens when he spiked the ball. I wanted something like that to happen in this game because Coach Cristobal preaches a lot of stuff, but he backs it up because the verbiage he said to him when he was cursing every single one on the sideline, you can't do this. I hate the rule, but you can't do this. We have to play the rule. Then the next thing he said was, Cam, great kid, great young man, great family. He's going to be a great football player. But he holds him accountable. We haven't had that because, a couple coaching regimes would be like, oh, this kid's late. He's still going to play. Oh, this kid's a senior. Oh, he's still going to play. We're going through something right now where one of our most talented defenders didn't play a snap. And everyone's like, what's going on? Avante Williams. Coach Cristobal came out and said, 1, we have a lot of talent in that room. You got to earn to play. And yeah, he didn't play, but we're not going to have any of that social media stuff here. We had a heart-to-heart. I told him what it is, and we're going to move on. I feel like kids trust him. He says what he's going to do, and he's going to hold you accountable to make you better.
If you want to look at it as like your personal household, I kind of correlate it with the way your kids operate. And I don't want to say kids because these are obviously young men, but there's consequences now. There wasn't any consequences before. Just to piggyback what Brian was saying. You're held accountable now to a whole different standard than what you were before. And now there is consequences. There's no coddling. There's no, you're good, so you're going to play anyway. It doesn't really matter, but you shouldn't have done it. No, there's actual legitimate consequences that are about to happen. And what's even better for me is the players around are starting to be like, oh, so now we can help police the same way that we did it. We policed ourselves. Now we're holding each other accountable for certain things. So once that fully gets instilled, coaching staff is just banging amazing. Like, When I was standing there watching practice the other day, I'm like,
That's
these
staff.
cats. I was like, Ed Reed, Jason Taylor, big D-line coach, looks like he could rip anybody apart right now. Standing next to his 6'5" defensive lineman, and I'm like, these coaching staffs right now. I'd put our coaching staff against any coaching staff in America right now playing ball.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. I mean, look, we've said it from the beginning on traditional radio, which I still am. Texas A&M going into this year, when's the last time they won 10 games? When's the last time they've actually done anything relevant? Yes, Jimbo Fisher does a great job recruiting. Yes, they beat Bama last year, but they also lost 4 games. Quarterback, who's their quarterback? He got injured last year after the second game. Their other guy, Max Johnson, LSU quarterback, came over. Their other guy transferred to Auburn, who's a backup at Auburn. So you got question marks there. Offensive line, they lost 3 starters. You got question marks there. You watch the first game against Sam Houston State. I'm like,
This is what's all the hype about?
okay, maybe they're just coming out flat. Okay, watch the second half after the long delay. I'm like, no, this team's beatable. Their offensive line did not look good. Their quarterback is literally one of the worst QBRs in NCAA right now.
But if they've had one of the top recruiting classes and they've been in the top, they have talent.
They're young, though. They're young. So, like, if you look at their defensive line, their defense is disgusting. I'll give them that. Their defensive line is nasty. Like David Pollock said, they got dudes. They got some dudes in there, and that's really what's going to show us is our run game for real. Okay, we ran a bunch against Bethune and Southern Miss. We do that all the time, but when we play some real teams, we get stonewalled. So with Mario coming in, Cristobal coming in, do we have the right guys?
Right.
We'll see this week. Thing with them is that I don't even know if they believe their own coaches and their schemes. Because one of their top players came out today and said not everybody was buying into what our coaches were saying.
That's
and
a
it
shame.
showed on film.
Inside.
Because if you watch the App State game against them, it wasn't like it was a lucky game. App State was giving them the business.
Yeah, they played.
They played well, just like they played well against UNC, only lost by 2, 63-61.
Yep.
They should be 2-0 right now.
They should be 2-0 and should be ranked. So when I saw the second game, I'm like, we could beat them. But I'm not so confident in our team and certain things that we've done against the first 2 teams that will get us beat against a team like that.
And especially coming off of the embarrassment.
Because they're going to
That's
be
what I
Getting
that's what
college game
I
day
wanted to ask you.
pulled out from underneath
That's
you,
what I
too.
wanted in front of 100,000.
You know how much that student body was looking for? Like, you saw what it did with us when Rick was here. When College Game Day showed up here for Notre Dame and VTech, this city was lit. Student body lit.
Oh, by the way,
They were talking about we
App
were the
State.
best.
we
things-
lost College Game Day for this game
Yes.
because of App State.
Exactly.
They're now going to
Now
App
they're
State.
going to App State.
Like,
App
what?
State is going.
Yeah, they're going to
College Game Day. They
Yeah.
deserve it.
No, come on, man. Troy versus App State
No.
or Miami versus.
I mean that game.
Come on.
That game doesn't deserve it.
You're saying just something the fans are gonna do in the background.
The program for being this habitual upsetter
Yeah, you're
year after year,
Started back
every
with
2 to
Michigan.
3, every 2 to 3
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
Well,
they
look,
leave
we
a
only beat them
whole
by a
fan
field
base
goal
crying.
last year,
Right.
Exactly.
you know?
But talking about the wounded dog, App State. Texas A&M back against the wall.
Yeah, they're going to come out. They got something to prove now. You know, coaching staff, I imagine, they're probably going back. They're like, you don't believe in what we were doing down here? So is that the case? So let's go ahead and simplify everything to the point. And we're going to go ahead and do it over and over and over again. So there is no room for error. And we're going to put it on your shoulders now. You didn't think the coaching staff was eligible? Now we're going to put it on your shoulders now. So you guys are going to go out there and beat the Miami Hurricanes. We've given you the simplest game plan that you can't F up at all. Now it's on you. You show everybody how much better you are. It isn't us anymore. You wanted to call us out in the national media, embarrass us, and now College Game Day's away? Come on now. Oh yeah, they're going to come out. They're going to come out with something to prove now.
Fired up.
That's what makes me a little bit more nervous
That's why
about a normal
no.
game.
But that's why I'm excited because this game with Texas coming off that loss versus them blowing out App State.
Bro, there ain't shit to do over there either. That's
but
like the crazy
I think
part. There's nothing
we're,
else.
We're
other
gonna
than
find
ball.
we're gonna find more about this Miami team than if A&M had won that game. You got a team that was highly ranked, got embarrassed. Like you said, they have the talent, but they're young. Their coaching staff is going to be on their ass.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going into a stadium, 100,000.
Very hostile
Shoot, I
environment.
think
Hostile
they're-
environment.
I think they're 110
So this,
now.
listen, hold on.
Yeah.
These are the opportunities. These are the games that you grow your balls. I can say that, right?
Yeah, you can say it on here.
These are the games where you go in there, 110, come out with a victory that you grow your balls.
Yeah.
Or you drop them.
You drop them.
Yeah.
Now, you got to
Between the
have them
knees,
to drop
between
them.
the knees.
You got to have them to drop them.
Unless you got a lot of sack.
No. You got to have the balls to drive the ball. You can't drop the ball in those.
Fair point.
This is that type of game. And that's what I'm excited about, right? Because it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. And I know the coaching staff is preaching it to young men. But again, blow out Bethune. You do what you do against Southern Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Start the first half slow. Second half, you come out, you play, you dominate. Is that going to carry over into this hostile environment? And again, these are one of those moments that'll make or break a team or in the squad, right?
It did in the past.
What I was going to
Definitely
say,
in the past,
what
it
was
did.
that? Because before I got to Miami, what was that game for you? What was that game?
The turning point game?
Yeah, the turning point
Washington.
game.
Going up to Washington, getting beaten Washington.
No. There had to be a turning point before that.
Like when we were really, really bad?
Yes. What was that? What
Just go to the worst wounds ever. Just
Probably
twist
like
the knife.
my guess is probably the Florida State game where our quarterback got smoked up into against the goalpost. That was
not the
sack.
UCLA Edge game?
That was the turning point where Edge ran for 300 yards.
That's what I'm
right. The Hurricane game.
Yes.
Right. That we knocked UCLA out of the national contention.
It's like, hey,
Yeah.
we to you, we belong.
But I don't feel like that's going to have that same allure anymore since they lost to App State.
I think it has more.
I think that's the Clemson game this year.
Here it is.
Or the Florida State
I
game, depending
think-
on how Florida State wants to keep rolling.
Yeah.
I think it has more if we beat them, they get back on track, and they run the table.
They ain't running no table.
So they shouldn't have been ranked number 6.
Well, no, this is preseason. It doesn't make a difference. If you have preseason 25
it gotta make
at
something.
least 5 teams in the preseason 25 aren't going to be there at the end of the year. Guess what we were last year?
Was it right?
We're like ranked 11 going against Bama. Exactly. Here's my thing. You talked about turning points and stuff like that. The one thing that this game can instantly help you out in is recruiting. Because this is a huge recruiting battle because they were the #1 team of all time last year in recruits. Granted, they paid for it.
Obviously.
They still got it. We're in battles right now with a couple South Florida kids at Texas A&M. It's 1 of 3, 1 of 4. We're in the finals. You win a game like this on the road, recruits notice that. Now, we talked about it off air and stuff like that as far as Miami recruits. What is a Miami player? I think Coach Cristobal is going to identify guys that are more like what we think Miami recruits and players are. But what, in your opinion, is a Miami recruit?
What's a Miami guy? Not afraid of competition.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to hate on you because I'm in fear of you coming and taking my spot, taking my job. No, we want all the bad motherfuckers here.
Absolutely, yeah.
We want them all here. And I want to compete against the bad motherfuckers here. At other places, jump in portal, I don't know.
Complacent, comfortable. Nobody wants to ruin their comfortable routine, man. And I think that's the big difference with Mario is he doesn't want a paper champion. He doesn't want the kid that's been getting awarded as prima donna for the last couple of years. He wants a kid, a dog that's going to come in here. No paper champs. That's
No
his
matter
thing.
how many stars
I don't
you
want
got.
paper champs. I don't care how many stars you got. And then once we get a hold of the guys and we see what they're talking about, if they're talking about their Instagram account, getting the bag, laying in front of Rolls Royces at 18 years old, talking about how much of an NIL deal am I going to get?
But that's different. That's the NIL.
It's the
money.
time. It's
That's
the
the
time.
NIL
But you
money.
also,
Still separate
but you
a
still
dog.
got the kid today that's like, I don't know. I'm not really much about the social media thing. I want to play ball. And you also got the really good ones that are saying the money that I'm going to make in the NFL supersedes any money that I can make in an NIL deal too. So you also got that dog. So I think they're finding ways to weed out the perfume, if you will.
I'm not mad about the social media because I understand the younger generation, and again, they've grown up with it, and it's a big part of their life. And I'm not upset that they're monetizing it, and I get what you're saying. I don't think just because somebody's on social media has a lot of following, is even active, means that they're per se not a dog. Because again,
No, but they're more worried about their individual brand than they are about
it's
accomplishing something as a
We're
team.
not going to go deep into this conversation, But there's a bigger conversation because you got kids that are coming into college that are getting offered $8 million.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you where this is gonna go. You're gonna start having kids that are coming into college, get the 8, 10, 12, 15 mil, and go into their life. Right? We already got guys in the NFL retiring early.
Yeah, you noticed that trend?
Retiring. Like, I got me 30 mil, I'm good. I did my first deal, I got 15, 20 mil, I'm good. I got my mind, I got my sense. I'm gonna jump into this crypto space, I'm gonna give me some NFTs. Whatever. It's a whole different world, it's a whole different ball game. So I'll never judge a kid for branding himself and trying to monetize it. Right? I won't say he's not a dog, like, old school or whatever, but
It's more for me about false motivation. That's what it is.
Here's where I will
That's
judge.
what it is for me.
Here's where I will judge, and I'll say this to every fucking kid that's in the country playing college football. Stop fucking posting plays that you made in games that you lost.
That's the one thing
That's
I
my
hate.
fucking biggest. Stop fucking posting plays in games that you lost. I don't understand that. I don't. Yeah, you had a one hand, you know what I mean? Bring it down.
But that's the individualized shit that I'm
Got
talking
your ass
about.
blued out.
Yeah.
Stop.
They won't though, but that's this generation. Like you said, they grew up in this. They're monetizing it. They have to do this, and it's something that I don't think that we always talk. Oh, you guys are
We
the
got
old
him next
guys,"
week,
whatever.
big bro. You the go.
Yeah,
With it.
everyone says it on their posts. I'm like, bro, you lost this game 48-3.
Blued out.
How you post that? They're like, oh, you guys are old. It's a different generation. I'm like, it's a different generation, but that dude got his ass whooped in our locker room.
That's a pride thing to me. That's a pride. Look, when I played in the league, we won, we blew them out. Oh yeah, we went out, party, drinking, we getting in. If we got blew out, we still went out.
Chicks didn't change.
But we had another spot. We ducked off in the corner. We got the little thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We drinking our problems away now. It's a whole different thing. We're not front street with it.
Yeah.
Great conversation, fellas. It's just a start.
So when are we getting into politics, racism, and
Isn't that the
and
one
sexual
thing?
identification?
Isn't that the one thing they tell you not to have conversations
Then we
about
get
at the
to
rookie
racism today.
symposium?
We're good.
No. At the rookie symposium, the first thing they tell you is
3 things you don't talk about.
stay away from
Religion,
sexuality,
politics.
religion, and politics, because you'll never be at a table with a group of people that agree.
You're right, but racism we could touch on. We got Canadian. We got
Oh, yeah,
dark
we're gonna
brown,
go in
Wait,
on
wait,
that.
wait.
Mixed
Hold on.
breed. We're good.
Yeah, we're gonna
That
go
was
in
so
on it.
racist, right? We got a Canadian, we got a
It was.
darker one.
Well,
I know.
mean,
Can I identify?
Now you're giving
Nah,
it. Now you're giving it away. Now you're giving the
say-
secrets away.
I'm Cape Verdean.
you're Cape Verdean? Is that what does Ancestry.com say you're 2%?
What? I got it. I'm 78% West African, right there on the coast, Cape Verdean.
Of course
And
you
then I'm 19% Portuguese, and then I got a little Welsh in me.
That's like the 2% that said I was Jewish. I ain't never been to a bar mitzvah for myself.
Just say he mad because he Irish. I got the little Welsh, so we beefing now. He
How is
mad.
it beefing? We better than
Soccer,
you, bro.
baby.
See, you heard. That's why he mad. We beefing.
Yeah.
I'm English too, so don't worry about that.
It's all right,
We're
man.
good. Just say I'm Great British.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Every year at Dime Life, we continue to try to take it to the next level. Fly merch, watch parties. Now we're getting into the content game. Slide over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.